Okay, so lesson 1 is on basic problem solving. So I'll put this down. Problem. Problem. Will you go to problem? Will you go to problem with me? Problem number 1 is spelling problem right. Problem solved. Okay, so what's really fun about problem solving is not only answering questions, but learning how to ask them. All right. So, does anyone know roughly how many miles it is to San Francisco? Do you know how many miles it is, San Fran? Roughly? Call it out. Call it out.
400.
400. 400. Right. I looked it up. It's 380. All right. Good job. 380 miles to San Francisco.
Well, where's the starting point?
Here, right here.
Okay,
Good job. Yeah, starting point. That you needed to point that out. That's Chris, right? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, you need to point that out. And let's say you go an average of, what's the limit? Speed limit on the 101? Yeah, I know that. I know. Leading question. What's the legal speed limit on the 101 freeway?
65.
65. Right. So let's round up to 70. Make it easy. All right. 70 miles an hour. All right. So what's fun is I'm not going to ask the question. What could I ask you guys? You guys are welcome to come in a little. You're welcome to come in. Yeah. It doesn't. Do you love math? What's your deal?
I like math.
You like math. Oh, can we make you love math again? Oh, did you ever love it once?
Yes.
You did. Oh my God! So you're gonna bring you back. I'm gonna pull you back. Come back. Okay. So like is good enough. Okay. So stay with me, board. 380 miles to San Francisco, 70 miles an hour average. What could I ask you? Welcome to Call It Out. What could I ask you?
How many hours would it take you to
How many hours? How long? That's right. How long would it take? That's exactly right. So, I mean, look, there is a short way to do it, you know. Does anyone happen to know the way to do this problem? You know? How do you do it? Call it out.
380 divided by 7?
7 divided by. That's right. Divided by. Raise your hand if you didn't know that. Didn't know how to divide. Raise your hand if you don't want to raise your hand. Hey, so you guys, that's the whole point of being here, so we can have a good time together. I'm not gonna bite. All right. So yeah, it is divide. But if you didn't see that right away, you can say to yourself, well, 1 hour. And just like make a wrong answer just for the fun of it. So it'll take 1 hour. In 1 hour, how long am I going? 70 miles. There you go. In 2 hours, how am I going?
140.
140. You get the idea. And then you could start to see the pattern. So it's basically what times 70 equals basically the target is around 380.
5?
Now let's take your suggestion and divide. Let's do it. So how many times does 70 go into 380? Or you could ask yourself, how many times does 7 go into what?
38.
38. Why?
Because it is.
That job, nice. I love the hat, by the way. Both are divisible by 10. Yeah, basically, so you could say safely that 70 goes into 380 the same number of times. That 7 goes into 38. No, you're walking away. You don't have to. You're welcome to stay there. You're fine. I was just inviting you in. It's right. 7 goes into 38 the same times as 70 to 380. And this is a lot more manageable, right? So I'm feeling, call it out. How many?
5.
Said it right? 5. That's right, 5. 5. Multiply to the 7, that's 35, right? And then subtract, that's 3, okay? So you could say 5-ish hours. 5-ish hours. And then taking it a step further, 3, Venice, here we are. We're learning math together. You're welcome to join us. Yeah. So basically there's 3 portions of 7 left. So we said that was about 5 hours to San Francisco, right? And 3 is roughly half of 7, is it fair to say?
Yeah.
Roughly half. So 5.5 hours, there you go. So it's interesting to me as a math teacher, how often people don't ask themselves these questions. Like if you're driving to San Francisco and you even look up, it says 380 miles. Google will tell you how long it'll take, but we don't do that ourselves. We don't ask ourselves that. And so you just basically ask yourself how many 70s go into 380, all right? That's the idea of like, we're gonna try to create problem solving mindsets in our life. All right, that's the first one. It takes me 20 gallons. 20 gallons of gas. Awesome. What could I ask you? Call it out. What could I ask you if it's 380 miles? Yeah, I know, I got this guy. I brought you back. I brought you back. You didn't like it at first,
No,
now you're liking it a little more?
Because really, you're using real life terms.
Yeah, that's the goal, right. So we've all had to drive some lengthy distance. We all fill our tanks with gas, measured in gallons. What could I ask? Call it out. What could I ask? Miles per gallon. I totally could. See, that to me is a lot more effective than me saying, what's the miles per gallon? You know, because if I ask the question, I rob you of the chance of thinking of the question yourself. So now you pose the question, and now we have created a space in our minds for actually answering. Okay. Shout out, say yo, or applause if you're afraid of being wrong in life. Who's afraid of being wrong in life? Yeah. Woo! You know, it's really fun, a fun experiment if you want. Just to remove the stigma, on the count of 3, we're gonna yell out, I failed, like in a really celebratory way, just to say that it's not a big deal anymore. You down? Right? Okay, we're gonna say, I failed on 3 and really party about it so that we don't care to be wrong anymore. All right? 1, 2, 3, I failed! Not so bad. Okay. All right, yeah, miles per gallon. Yeah, local friend said it. So let's talk about it. How many 20s would it take? Basically how many, right. So miles per gallon. So it's like number of miles in 1 gallon. So we pose the question. So I know it takes 380 miles to go with 20 gallons. So maybe we could chop it in half. That could be fun. So 10 gallons. You know? See, what's fun is like I don't really have a plan about how to solve. I'm just throwing out ideas. So if 20 gallons goes 380 miles, what's half of 380? In other words, half of $380, half of 380 miles. What you got? Half of it. You know? If people are afraid. I thought we failed, we don't care. What is it? What's half of 380? 190. 190, very nice. 190 miles, right? And then, we want to get it down to 1. So what should we do? Want to get 10 to become 1. Ideas? What? Divide. What can we divide 10 by? We choose a different color? Party time? Freestyling about math, that's awesome. Divide 10 by what to get 1? Divide, Chris, do you know? Okay. 10, it's actually helpful to see it after the fact. If you divide 10 by 10, that's 1. That's right. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So then we have to apply the same treatment over here. And you know what's cool? How many 10s are there in 190? How many tenths in 190? 19 is correct. Gas mileage correct. Divide the zeros correct. 19 miles in 1 gallon. So I guess we're driving a minivan. This is something that we do most days of the week. And you want to fill in a 9-gallon jug. Here it is. 9 gallons. My spelling's on point. How many times would it take to, wow! Okay, can we get a Y?
I don't know why, but I just know.
Isn't that fun? So our new friend Chris here is able to say the answer for how many times 1.5 gallon jugs could fill in a 9-gallon jug, which is pretty heavy. You know that it's 6, but we can't articulate why yet. We totally will. 6 times. Do you want to hang out with us, learn some math some more? Oh, why not? Do you love math?
He does.
Come hang out, do math for like 2 minutes.
So bad at math. Sorry.
You're not bad at math. You're not. We can learn a little. Because people are afraid, you know. It's interesting. That was like part of this experiment to see people's reaction. And they have nothing to fear. You guys want to learn some math with us? Just for fun. Even on vacation, you can learn math. Teach on the beach. Okay? So let's do it. Let's count them up. One pour, 1.5 gallons. One pour. Two pours. How much is in there? Three. Good job. Three pours. How much is in there? 4.5. You got it. Four pours. How much is in there? Six. On it. This gallon just grew. Problem solving. Whoop. Okay. Fifth pour. 5 pours. How much is in there? 7.5. And the sixth pour is 9. What's that?
I said I don't want to be the only one calling that.
No, please. It's okay. It's okay. Sharing the love. I think this is really special because there's no real method required. You're just supposed to be a person, right? That's the moral of this story, that you could be a person walking on Venice Beach and you could be a person doing math. We can give some early exposure to the baby, some like early math osmosis. Okay. Suppose I brought $12. Do I have enough money to cover without the phone calc? Well, we have a fun challenge, okay? You're welcome to use it in life, okay? I'm not against using the calculator, but just if we could sort of handle some math on the street, you know? Let's say a sandwich is this, sandwich. Let's say I bought a couple apples. How do you like them? I like them 70 cents, baby. Times 2. 2 apples.
That's $1.40.
You got it, yeah, see? What Chris is doing, which we're really happy about, is that you're already going places without having to be asked to go places. You know what I mean? Process, right? And you come up with your own. So I want something to drink, maybe like iced tea or something. Call it. I commend that though. Your mind is already going places. So let's say an iced tea is like $2.20. All right. So look, I believe in the concept that there are multiple paths to the mountaintop. I believe that with humanity. I believe that with religion. I believe that with solving problems. All right. I believe we all have our own way. Well, yeah, we did come to Venice, so I probably was prepared to hear that. But yeah, I'll definitely respect your opinion for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So let's think of one way. I already like the 140. I like that. Other things we could do with 140, 220, 750. Do we have enough, including taxes and stuff? You feeling it? What'd you do?
I added them all up.
You just straight added?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a totally, like clearly that would be the straight fire way to do it, right? But like, let's say you wanted to make it more manageable, chunk it down. Could we do like 220 up with this? You know? Let's do that. What's 2 and 1 together? 3, got it?
360.
That's, you got it, you read my mind. 20 and 40 together is 360, so we got this, and we got this, and this. And now we're gonna add it up to 7s. 3 and 7 together. 3 and 7? 10. 50 cents, 60 cents, how much? 110. And together, how much money is that? 1110. We are eating.
What about tax?
Including tax, yeah, assuming tax is part of it. Good job. Yeah, I was thinking that too, assuming that's part of it. Right on. All right, you guys, give yourselves a hand. Welcome to Yay Math. Teach on the beach. I'm the teach. That's the beach.